Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our presentation. Today I'm going to present to you about the finance department. Before I present, I will give you an outline so that you guys can easily follow what we are presenting. Our presentation will be divided into the three parts. The first part will be the introduction. We're going to talk about the department structure and the general responsibility. And the second part is the body. We're going to talk about why it's so important and the internal and external communication as well. And then finally is the conclusion. So let's take a look at our department structure. This is also about our group members. As you can see in the diagram, term will be the finance manager. This is also very powerful position, definitely. And which is me, I'm in charge of an accountant. And Zui is the funding researchers, or a professor of funding, I would say. And Zoom will be the property manager, obviously. And now moving on to the general responsibility. Because of our limited time, so I just talk about it in general. So first of all, is the bookkeeping procedures. This means the finance department will keep records on purchases and sales of the organization day-to-day activities. And secondly, it's creating financial statement. This is how the finance department prepare balance sheet, income statement, cash flow statement in yearly basis. And finally, it's providing management information such as management of wages, raising finance through loans and repayments. And therefore, the finance department is very important in every organization in the world. And so I will hand over to my partner to talk about it.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jay, and now I will show you the importance of finance department. As you may know, finance department play a vital role in each organization, especially our industry. Firstly, finance department enable the organization to work effectively and efficiently by giving the financial information and also financial statement over the period. Let's take an example. Without finance department, the organization will not know how much profit or loss they will get throughout the operation, and which will lead to some big problem. I mean, it will maybe create chaos within the company in the long term. Secondly, each department has to look for or find accountant for their own department to exemplify if finance department exists. This belong to their responsibility. But now we ignore finance department, so the whole organization will spend a lot of money hiring staff for calculating the spend for the organization. And finally, other departments do not know where to get the funding. I mean, if finance department exists, or other department had to come to finance department to get funding. But now we ignore finance department, so other department will not know where to get the funding to invest in some field that they want. So in the long term, it may create troubles for the company. But it's really hard for the whole organization to survive and exist. And I just have shown you the importance of finance department, and now to make it easier for you guys to understand more about our department, my friend will show you how we communicate with other department.
Okay, my name is Damina. I will present to you the internal communication. The reason why and how we can communicate with divide the whole department in the style industry. And firstly, in the senior management, we have to sit back and planning the outgoing budget and also the expected revenue and profit for the company in the full years. And we are responsibility to prepare all the annual financial report to the senior management. And the first department we have to communicate is the sales and marketing department. We have to receive all the invoice and billing from the marketing and sales activity expense. And as the sales and marketing department had mentioned before, we have why the sales and marketing department they want to raise the budget to reach the target, but for the finance we have to restrict on the spending in order to get the higher return and profit for the whole company. We also have to collecting and record all the transactions between the sales marketing department with their customer. And in order to taking into all the account, all the expense in the production process, we have to work out with the manufacturing department to avoid miss out any step in the cost step in production. For example, the cost of goods sold or the material cost. The next department is the human resource. We have to sit back with the human resource department to calculate and pay the salary for the employee, and we have also to reward the employee by the company policy. And the human resource they need our information to have the insight into the staffing and also the improvement of it of our department and also other department in the company. Last but not least, important department is in the operation department. That we have to deal with all the organization account, including the receivable account and the uncollected debt. And we also have to saving all the document of the output and input activities of the operation to control the financial flow of the company. And it's all about the internal communication, and next part is the external communication will be presented by my neighbor.
Hi, my name is Bill, and today I will talk about the internal communication. So why internal is more of a communicate with inside of the organization. Internal communication is focused on the outside of the organization. So let's take a look at the essential role of internal communication. First of all, is definitely will help this company to stay efficient and productive. And also when the communication is poor, the customer service will suffer. And lastly, external communication will maintain an efficient flow of information inside of a business. So let's move on to the key point. How our department finance contact with you guys from other departments and also outside of the star industries. So I decided to divide into direct and indirect external communication. Direct communication means face-to-face discussion. So if you guys need to meet me and discuss with me, just book appointment with me anytime. Send me an email first. So I will be gladly to have face-to-face discussion with you guys. Also, if you don't have time, just send me an email. Either written or verbal communication is fine. Just email me or SMS, post, fax, or just give me a phone call. So it is all about external communication. Let's move on to the conclusion. So it is clearly that finance department plays such an important role in any organization, because without it, it's really hard for any company to survive. And also it has the business to stay efficient and effectively. So that is the end of our presentation. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.